All right, so it's the final day of the SHOT Show, and we get the heavy hitters in here today, man. We're gonna go live. You got to go live with an F-16 pilot, my good buddy Col Nick Nichols of Folds of Honor. What's up,
Oh my
buddy?
gosh, man, it's so good to see you. It was super hard to find this booth until I walked around the corner, and there's like a 12-foot tall picture of you.
Dude,
and I was
like Sasquatch.
That's where I got to be. That's the booth.
I know, man. I was like, I've been telling everybody they see that poster. You know, they got a lot of the different hunting personalities. I was like, hey, man, has nothing to do with television. Outdoor Channel's printing them out, and we're going to have such a supply of corn throughout the country because those are all scarecrows they're going to sell when they're done. They make like 400 of them. So.
Well, I might buy one.
Man, you can grow corn in your garden. Nothing comes in your garden.
Nothing would come in your garden.
I'm serious.
So
I need to get one of those. I need to get Mark Drury because I think he could keep all the crows out your corn, you know, and deer out your garden.
Yes,
See
absolutely.
Mark Drury, you can stay out.
Put that, and they walk up there and they go, can't go in there. There's why he's going to shoot me.
I know it. Well, what's been going on, man? I know y'all been everywhere, dude.
Oh, golly, we've been so busy, and, you know, it is so fun being here at SHOT Show because, you know, right here in this room, we got our awesome partners with the Outdoor Sportsman's Group, obviously awesome partners with you and the Bone Collector team, and just right now at the beginning of 2025 is kind of just looking back a little bit and just kind of pinching myself at how the outdoor space has just embraced the Folds of Honor mission and what we do. It's so much fun, man.
Dude, well, I mean, y'all probably don't give yourself enough credit, man. You and Colonel Rooney, y'all just, one is what y'all started is such an amazing nonprofit, you know, giving back to these fallen heroes, families, as well as now the first responders. I think y'all just added that in the last couple of years.
We did.
And looking at how much y'all give back to the dollar that's earned, I mean, it's crazy. A lot of people don't realize that. What is it? I mean, because that's to me one of the biggest things, not only the mission, but there's a lot of nonprofits, you know, it gets pretty lucrative and it ain't, you know, it ain't all what you think. But in this case, yeah, you know, the money's given back.
To use a fighter pilot term, we stay high speed, low drag. That means we don't have a lot of administrative stuff and anything. So 91 cents of every dollar goes to support our scholarship program. So when you donate to us, it's going to the right place. And doing that, we were able to send 10,000 spouses and kids to school last year. That
Holy
was
cow.
$50 million out the door, thanks to, you know, generous supporters like you and the Bone Collector team and OSG. Couldn't do it without y'all. I mean, it's amazing. And that 91 cents on the dollar, we're super proud of that. But what we are more proud of is these lives that we get to change, man.
Right.
They just come alongside these amazing military and first responder families who have given us so much that, you know, we can enjoy the outdoors and do things. I'm retired now, so I'm way out of the fight. But man, I wake up each and every day thankful that there's men and women out there doing that on our behalf.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's unbelievable. And now you start to see more and more of what you guys are doing. And you know, even for Bone Collector, I think I can speak the same for the Outdoor Channel is, you know, in the Outdoor Sportsman Group, is like when you see what happens and you see the lives it affects, I mean, it all ties back into the wildlife and hunting in a strange way from the standpoint is when you're taking care of people, and it's people that's taking care of the wildlife, and so many of the people that hunt, you know, and you look at the military and a lot of the soldiers and a lot of the fallen people, even first responders, you find that a large majority of those guys are hunters, and they were the dads or the moms that went hunting with their kids, or they were the husband that took their wife hunting. And so in my situation, it's like, I don't know, it makes perfectly good sense to see what you're doing, and when you look at the track record of where you're at, what you're doing, and then you meet you guys. Man, I met the whole team, you know, several times. We've had a chance to hang out. We've had a chance to elk hunt together.
Absolutely.
You've been down to the farm. My wife, like, if Col Nick is coming, I know we're going to be eating good because my wife is cooking, man. She's fired up, and it's just amazing the things y'all do for these families. And, man, it gets pretty sentimental and touching, and there's no if there was video in every circumstance of what y'all been able to do, 100%. I mean, these wives, and even sometimes the husbands, because some of the ladies, you know, have given the ultimate sacrifice. So, yeah, I can't say enough about you guys, man. Great people and a great cause, for sure.
Thank you so much, Waddy. You know, it's fun, like that connection between, you know, the outdoor space and what the Folds of Honor does and our mission, you know, things that remind me of it, like, you know, some of my favorite times, you know, my favorite memories in the deer woods aren't necessarily because I killed a big buck or anything like that. It's just sitting there, and you know what it's like in the morning, sitting there in the dark, and the woods start to come alive, and you see that sunrise, man. And there's just something, it just smells and looks like freedom.
That's
and
right.
man, we don't get to do all the things that we love and enjoy and stuff like that unless that freedom is in place, right?
100%.
And it's so good. It's just a constant reminder of that, man, that sun comes up, it's a new day, unbelievable things could happen in that day, and you just, I pray I never take it for granted.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that just is refreshing. It's a reset.
It is.
There's the Bible verse, be still, know I'm God. Man, there's no way you can't when you're out there hunting. I mean, it just brings everything, kind of back to the roots, or brings you back down to earth, because you are grounded in the earth, looking at all around you. And sometimes you miss. And here we are in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's wide open. There's lights, there's people, and so many times you don't look up. You never can sit and hear silence, but man, hunting just gives you so much of that, man. It's so cool.
It's just, and you'll experience things that you would, or see things that you would have never otherwise seen. Like, I mean, the first time I ever went elk hunting in my life was with you.
Right.
And I remember the first time I'm out there in the woods, man, and you hear an elk bugle.
Yeah.
You're like, I mean, it's spiritual. I mean, it's like, it's
Whoa,
something like,
yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, this is about to happen. This is like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And man, it's just a constant reminder of the privilege that we all have. And, and for you and I, like being able to do what we love and enjoy and raise money and do good for people, man, I just wake up every day and pinch myself
man.
that's the recipe.
It's such a good feeling. That's what I'm saying is like anytime you do something for somebody and you know that somebody's going to appreciate it and they're not entitled, God, it's exciting, man. I don't care if you're walking around just leaving a good tip for a waiter or waitress that's worked hard, or here as a cab driver, just a super nice guy. You kind of over-tip somebody and it feels good to give back. In this case, it's even more, because when you give back, financially in these situations to these families, it's like, that not only is it appreciative, man, it changes lives. It puts things possibly back on track, because I can't imagine. I mean, I literally can't imagine, losing my father in the middle of what his responsibility was to our family.
Yep.
And then he's up and gone because he was lost in war.
Yep.
Or he was a police officer and just had a routine traffic stop, and some evil, sadistic person maybe just shot him and killed him. And you can't even imagine those things happening to your family, but they happen constantly right here in America. And people are left just completely beat down to nothing, because all of a sudden, in so many cases, it's a wife that's sitting there.
Yep.
How do I handle this? I got 2 kids. I got all these things going down, and how do I handle this? And when Folds of Honor steps in and says, listen, we can at least guarantee you we can do this for you, and in some cases your kids. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's easy. It's the funnest and most exciting organization I've worked with. And then meeting you and Colonel Rooney, man, you guys are so awesome. You're fighter pilots, and just sitting around hearing the stories, when y'all flew in combat, and just the crazy stories. I mean, you military guys, man. Hey, don't get me wrong, these guys are nice, but if you've ever been in the military or you played football, it's a constant. I mean, they hard on each other. It's old school sarcasm, man.
It is. You got to have some thick skin doing that. And what you were talking about with the families, it so resonates with me, because, for us, we provide educational scholarships, but it's more than that. If you were to talk to these kids, probably the number one thing that they would say is like, hey, thank you for honoring my dad. Thank you for honoring my mom. I was just with this one young lady. It's hard to tell this story without getting choked up, but she was just an amazing human being. She's younger than my youngest daughter. She just finished college, and she spent 1 year of her life at her dad's bedside, as he was literally passing away in the hospital, and played the guitar for him every single day, and just sang to him, and just to be there for him and soothe him and stuff like that. This same young lady went on to get a degree in musical therapy, which I didn't even know was a degree.
Wow.
She now does musical therapy at the exact same hospital her dad was in. You talk about coming full circle and just giving back. Man, that's the stuff that fires me up. It's not just these kids are just just going to get a degree and doing something. They're circling back to honor their parent, to do something that was meaningful to help other families in the same situation that she was in. It's absolutely amazing.
That's insane. I mean, that's got to feel amazingly good to know that y'all were able to do that. I mean, and the people who gave money and the people that supported Folds, and to know that you're a big part of that, because again, it's life-changing. 100% life-changing.
It is. I mean, and this plane doesn't run without the gasoline. That gasoline is, donations that come in.
Right.
And we are so super thankful for every dollar that comes into our organization and stuff. And, we just had our annual, one of our annual board meetings, and we're sitting down and we're looking at the budget in 2025. One of the things that, we're thankful that we can help so many kids, but there's a lot of kids we can't help. I mean, because the number of applications just outpace our ability to fundraise. And so we're constantly, it gets me up every day, gets me excited to come here to Las Vegas, and so many of our brand partners are out here that are supporting us. And man, just gets me fired up. People.
Now there is a couple things, because we've talked about, me and you both, we can be tough, hard men, but we get emotional talking about this. But I will say, on a lighter note, you and I both music lovers.
Yep.
I mean, we love it. We've had a chance to go over there last year. Was it 2 years ago? ZZ Top.
Oh yeah.
We saw who was it that played last year? Not Bad Company, but 38 Special.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
Col Nick and I front row, bro. We old school.
I mean, we're 80s
like kids.
Windows down, arm out the window. Oh yeah, music. Yeah.
And then, but then I hear that your favorite band is also one of my favorite bands, Whiskey Myers. The Wolf.
Yes.
The song "The Wolf" is that's probably one of the best songs ever.
Absolutely.
Those guys rock. But I heard you got a chance to meet them, and so I've been told that evidently, I always thought you was a buttoned-up guy, but I heard you let it all hang out, and you done joined Whiskey Myers, man. You playing bass guitar or right-hand tambourine now. Since they saw your outfit.
That's right. So there's probably a couple of my team members that I may have to fire after this interview.
It's possible.
I don't know where anything is possible. I don't know where they're at.
They're getting you another shirt. I think that's what they're doing. They're getting you a Cardigan sweater.
Yeah, nothing with buttons. So here's a funny story. So I got the privilege of meeting a good friend of yours, Kevin Van Dam. Okay,
yes.
Yeah, we're at dinner, and he's showing me hunting photos, and I'm like, whoa, back up. And I go, I didn't care about his buck picture. I'm like, is that Whiskey Myers? He goes, yeah. He goes, you want to meet him? I'm like, yeah, I do. So they came to Tulsa, and so my wife and I, Carrie, we got to go to the concert, but it was like, we got to pull in in the back of the concert arena, get parked next to the tour bus and all that other stuff. So we go in and we're going to get the photo and everything else, and with the band, and Carrie's in the photo with me. I get the photo back. Somewhere in there I got too excited and got about 2 buttons low on that thing, and I'm just like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, all right, man, it just is what it is.
You went Happy Days on him, bro.
Yeah. I'm just glad. I don't know if he saw it or not, but I mean, I may have left there and he might have gone, hey, man, don't ever let that dude back in here again. I don't know what's up with him, but it kind of creeped me out a little bit.
Dude, that's awesome, man. But I think that's what I love about you. And actually, too, look, I did this for Colonel Rooney today.
There you go.
The Bandit. So, cool story. So, you and I were talking. We had a squirrel hunt. We was at the Squirrel Master Classic, and we get to talking about our dream cars. I said, man, I just love a 77 Trans Am. Burt Reynolds. You got to talk about a 69 Charger, like a 1970 Super Sport. And you said, man, you ain't going to believe this, but Colonel Rooney has got a 77 Trans Am, the Bandit.
Yeah.
He's thinking about selling it. So I'm like, dude, should I, hook me up, let me talk to him. So as it goes, it's like that was in late January, February. Mm-hmm. So just in April, last April, I finally had a chance to get it, and I bought that car from him, man, that Trans Am. So it was cool. I think what's cool about it, we find out, you're at the Whiskey Myers, down there with your shirt buttoned down to your navel, looking like Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean. And then you turn around and you find out Colonel Rooney, has the original Ninja motorcycle from I think Top Gun.
Oh yeah.
And he's had the Bandit. And had an old 69 Charger. So you start looking at all those things. It's like not only are these guys just big-hearted, sweet men, but they also flew combat missions. They're raising millions of dollars to get back to these families, but they're cooler than hell and got bandits and partying with Whiskey Myers. So, man, how can you go wrong supporting Folds of Honor, as the team members and the organization? So that's always been fun to me. It's like it's such a buttoned up, unbuttoned. Next thing you know, you're in the jet hauling ass, and then next thing you know, you're in the bandit. So it's like, your guys are fun to be friends with. That's why we like to go to concerts and hunt together.
That's
man.
right. Well, when you're in Vegas, you got to go with Vegas.
You
got to go with Vegas.
We're all human.
And so, what's funny though is like, how long you're going to get to hold on to that bandit until Waylon turns 16.
Oh, dude,
he's going to steal those keys from you, and Kristen's going to help him.
I send a picture sometimes to you and Colonel Rooney.
Yeah.
Every day, he's like, Dad, please take me in the bandit. And we live down that long gravel road. And so I'm like, Waylon, we just got it clean. And it'll be freezing cold, and he wants to take the T-tops off, So yes, but it's
So what's his roll-up music when you drop him off at school?
It goes from Jerry Reed,
okay,
with Jerry Reed, Snowman, and the Bandit, to obviously Waylon Jennings, just a good old boys, which goes back to Dukes of Hazzard. But every once in a while, it's straight up like White Snake, like in the still of the night. I mean, it works. And what's odd, Waylon gets aggravated because none of his friends know the Bandit. Because they're all 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
But every single teacher, our age, even into their 30s, are freaking out over this car.
Oh, they know.
So he's more mad that his teachers think the car is, digging the car more than his friends. But now all the school is starting to like it a lot more because he's made them all go watch Smokey and the Bandit. So now all of his kids, as soon as they get to the house, his buddies, they just want me to take them a ride in the Bandit.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. But I'd be a little bit, because I live off a gravel road too, but driving that sweet car down a gravel road, you're probably like, oh my God.
I'm just barely going, man.
I don't want to ding anything here and stuff like that. Well, that's so fun, man. I'm super happy you got it. So is Dan. Happy you got that car, man. I mean, because you love it. We grew up on that movie and stuff. In fact, after you got the car, I went back and rewatched Smokey and the Bandit.
Did you really?
It's just like,
it's classic.
It's classic. You just can't get. You can't watch enough of it. I just watch that movie every day. You
can't, man. Yeah. Well, dude, it's been a privilege to support Folds of Honor and just become friends with you guys. Amazing organization and even better people. So always good to see you, man. We're gonna have to get an elk camp again this year soon.
Awesome, love it, Waddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by and chatting with us.
Absolutely. Yeah.